Welcome to CLP Mastery. I'm Janet Greenwood. Let me show you around. So what is CLP Mastery? Well, it's a hybrid online course combining online training with live video meetings. And it covers GHS in the EU, GB and Northern Ireland. That is the CLP regulation and the safety data sheet parts of the REACH regulation. It runs once a year and there's an intensive 3-month training phase running September, October, November, followed by a 9-month implementation phase, and you've got ongoing support through that whole year. Now, CLP Mastery is for practitioners, anyone classifying, labelling and or compiling safety data sheets with a need to comply with CLP and REACH in the EU, GB and Northern Ireland. You are welcome here. It's for people who are either starting their GHS journey or experienced people who want to improve their skills. And particularly if you're using software, it lets you see what's happening inside that black box and how to check that and to make corrections. Now, the course has been written by industrial chemists for industrial chemists. However, you don't necessarily need a lot of chemistry to take the course, as long as you've got access to one so you can ask questions. Having a good logical mindset is really key to doing well. So why is CLP Mastery special? Well, we've reverse engineered the regulations. We've started from first principles, we've read through them all, and we've not just gone, we need to do this. We've produced a whole load of tools to help you classify, label, pack, and compile your SDSs as quickly and easily as possible. We've also discovered some reasons why certain situations have arisen because of the complexity of the regulations, and that helps put everything into context for you, because I firmly believe understanding why something is happening will help you when you come to actually do it. Support during training. This is something we're really keen on, because of course our job as trainers is to make you become competent in all of this area. There are 22 live support meetings. There are 13 during the training phase and 9 in the support phase. Each meeting always includes an Ask Us Anything session, and that often opens out into a full discussion. It's a real safe space for you to make your mistakes in private, to ask those questions. You can also ask questions via email, and remember, there is no such thing as a silly question. We know this is a complicated and important topic, and we're all going to make mistakes, me and my team included. You can make them here in a safe environment. Now, as well as access for a whole year, our trainees also have the option to take out an annual access subscription, which is at a much reduced rate to enable them to keep up to date. And it's a really important principle of CLP Mastery that everybody has access to everything. Partly because the course builds up over time. You need to know how to classify, for example, in order to compile an accurate SDS, but also because we don't want any of our trainees to miss out on any of the key concepts and skills. And I think it's important to understand that CLP Mastery is an expert system. CLP and safety data sheets are just too big and too complicated for any one mind to understand it all. If anybody claims they do, I would back out of the room. You never turn your back on a crazy person. Anyway, CLP Mastery isn't just input from 1 or 2 people. It's kind of a hive mind. It's an ongoing joint project between us and our trainee and other clients and colleagues. It's been updated over the years so many times. We update it as the regulations and interpretations change. We correct our mistakes, or we find a better way of doing things. So we learn as much as our trainees very often, and we keep developing it over time. CLP Mastery is about your skills. It's all about improving your skills and competence, and that's why we have practice areas with instant feedback. Only you see this. This is private to you. We have the quizzes, which are marked automatically and with some personalized feedback. And for certain things, we have assignments that are marked by hand and full personalized feedback. And the feedback that's personal to you comes via email, or occasionally we will have a chat online about it, but it is entirely private to you. So again, it's a safe space. You're not making a fool of yourself in front of everybody else. And if we want to discuss something on our weekly meetings that affects people, we're not going to name names. So it's not just about giving you information and a little bit of practice. It's giving you time to really get those skills in place. And as I said before, our job is to get you up to the same level as us. Now, we do think a lot about how best to train you. The main course author, that would be me, sorry, actually went through teacher training, and I taught for a year, and I didn't much like going from industry into schools, but anyway, it was useful and interesting. And that's made me interested in the best methods to actually get information across to you and make the course easy. So we use a lot of visual aids like infographics and sketch notes. There's a lot of opportunities to practice, and of course there's the support for the whole year. And we do take feedback from our trainees very seriously to help them learn better. And we make it as enjoyable as we can. It may be a really serious topic, but that doesn't mean to say we can't have fun. And something else that makes us, I think, fairly unique is that we have a scholarship program. Now, most of our trainees have CLP Mastery paid for by their employer because it gives them the skills to do their jobs better. But occasionally, trainees want to fund themselves, and our scholarship program gives access to the course at a greatly reduced rate. I would stress this is designed for people already working in industry, not if you're a student and you think, oh, I'd like to do that. No, this is for people at the sharp end. Do email us for further details with an explanation of why you wish to take CLP Mastery, and there's a special email link below this video that will let you contact us about that straight away. So, are you ready to look round? Let's take a dive in. So here we are inside CLP Mastery itself. You access the training by clicking on My Training, funnily enough. And you can see here we've got the course calendar with the dates for the training meetings in blue and the implementation monthly meetings in green. Click on View Details to open everything up. You'll see there's some information about the course program itself, and then we're straight into our 13 modules. Module 1, what you need to know first. This is all about GHS and CLP and REACH and how they overlap with each other. The second thing is identify other product regulations. Now we do this because CLP and REACH for safety data sheets do not exist in a vacuum. You need to know if there's other information going on the label or the SDS. Module 3 is identify your product. Is it a substance? Is it a mixture? What is it? What's in it? If you don't do this, you can't do the research into it. It's a fundamental thing. And then module 4 is your product legal? Because let's face it, if you can't actually sell the product or move it about, there's no point in taking the steps any further. Module 5, research your product and its components, is all about finding out if there is a classification you can use for the product or for its components, or any data that will use you when you come to make that classification. And then in module 6, we have classify your product from first principles. Module 7 is classify on the basis of components for both mixtures and multi-component substances. Module 8 is labeling and packaging. And then we have 3 modules on the safety data sheet. First of all, reading and reviewing existing safety data sheets. Then the SDS risk assessment, which is a method we've developed to help you put the correct and most useful information into the safety data sheet, both in terms of using it and also in terms of your emergency sections. Module 11 is actually compiling the SDS as a whole. Module 12 is make any CLP notifications. And module 13 is keeping your product up to date, which is an art in itself these days with all of the changes that happen. So scrolling back up to module 1, which is going to be open as soon as you sign in. First of all, we have a live kick-off meeting on the 6th of September this year, which you can click on here on our little I button. There we are. And there's the Teams link to join it. Now, as soon as the meeting's happened and we've made any changes that we wanted to the video, we will upload it here, so you can always get back to the introductory video for each module. This one is actually covering modules 1 and 2. Below this, you can see the main module. Now, this has got all of the information that you absolutely need to know. And if we scroll down, you can see that there's supporting information that exists for this module. And then we have a couple of optional videos as well. Let's take a look at this one here. We can go into a bit more detail in this video because it's already prepared. You can see that we've got information on how long the video is. We've got chapters in there. And again, we have supporting information below the video. For example, GHS pictograms with GHS codes. I'm sure every single training course has that. And if they don't, there's something wrong. But that's just a little view at the sort of thing we do. But what we also have sitting within the lessons is tools. And these are the things that you may want to use to help you actually deal with, for example, understanding that, what are the products not covered by CLP? So again, you can see that this is a fact sheet waiting to be updated actually. And then another lesson, it's not really a lesson, we've got our practice area. Now the practice area is really, really important because once you've had the live meeting to start the module, you have to go away, go through the main module, take any optional videos that you may need to have a think about. Use the tools, go and have a look at what they are, and then you come to practice your skills. And it does what it says in the tin. So for example, here, can you give the correct name? This is just a memory game. Here we have a drag and drop. Ooh, let's see, corrosive. There we are, gas under pressure. Long-term harm. Let's have a look at that one. So you can see you're getting immediate feedback from the practice area and nobody need ever know. This is one of the safe spaces that you've got to have a go and make your mistakes in a supportive environment. Then finally, once you've gone through the module, you can go onto the quiz, take the quiz. You've got 3 attempts at it. So it's a good idea to be really confident about what you're doing before you go in there. And then you should be ready for our next meeting, which will actually be the week after. It's really important to remember that the live meetings are there to sort of prime you for what we're doing in the forthcoming modules. They're not a replacement for viewing the main module and any optional videos you think you might need. And they're certainly not a substitute for actually going into the practice area and having a go. So the other things that you might need to know about CLP Mastery are that we've got the implementation knowledge base here, which is currently being populated as you see. And that's where we're going to put all of the good things about practical implementation that you don't necessarily want in the course itself, but things about biocides and about surfactants or detergents, I should say, and actually implementing real life products. There's also a dashboard here, which is a way of tracking your progress through the course itself. Although if you click onto here, again, you're getting back to your training page. And of course your regular account page, and that's where you log out. Now you can contact us when you go through the course. And if you just have a look here on the live meeting, for example, you can see that that button is always there, so you can always ask us questions. So don't feel bad about asking questions. This is an all questions you can eat course. We're here to support you for the lifetime that you're in CLP Mastery, whether that's in the first year or on an annual access subscription afterwards to help keep you up to date. So thank you very much for watching this video. So now we've gone through the video showing you around CLP Mastery as it sits on the website. We've got some questions for you, and the first one is, so how does the training phase work in a wee bit more detail? Now the training phase is actually very interactive. There's the video call at 2 p.m. UK time every Wednesday where we go over the previous week's modules, findings. Now we don't identify anyone making mistakes, it's all anonymous, unless of course it's our mistake, when we will hold our hands up. We discuss the upcoming module and we do a few exercises to get you ready for it, which is known as priming. And we have an Ask Us Anything session where you can raise questions and give us feedback too. The video is assessed from the course and also posted to that same page after it's ended, so it's there for everybody for the lifetime of the course. So after the video call, it's over to you. Watch the main video for the module or modules, and that contains everything you really need to know. Look at the supporting information beneath the video to help understand what's going on and the tools you can use to do the work in real life. Then dive into the practice area to put what you've learned into action. Now, if you think you need more help or the practice area shows up any areas you've missed, go through any subsidiary videos to top up your knowledge. Practice some more, and when you're ready, take the quiz, ideally before the next meeting. And then we just rinse and repeat through that 13-week cycle. So once we've got the training phase out of the way, how does the implementation phase work? Well, the implementation phase is for you to continue to practice while you work in real life. It's also a catch-up period if you fell behind during the training phase, because we know how busy everybody is. And it's also for us to update you on any improvements we've made or any changes that have occurred throughout the year. There's usually only one video meeting a month, but it's a very interesting one. So again, how much support is there? As much support as you need. There's the 22 live video meetings over the year. There's all you can ask questions by email. And if you've really hit a point where email isn't enough, or you want to chat through a confidential problem you don't want to bring up in the video meetings, you can also book a quick consultancy call with us at preferential rate, and you get to keep a copy of the recording for your files. How much can I practice? Well, there's no limit on practice. You can go through the practice areas in each module as many times as you like. The quiz at the end of each module can only be taken 3 times, although we can reset this. And if we feel you need more practice in a particular module, we may set you some extra questions before you pass that module, because we're all about your skills. So how many hours does it take to work through CLP Mastery, and do you offer CPD points? Well, the course is likely to take at least 40 hours, depending on how new you are to the topic and how in-depth you want to go, whether you attend all the live meetings and so on. One of our trainees actually calls us CLP University, which is a real compliment. Now, if you want an official time, it would probably be around 60 CPD hours over the course of the training year. And we don't offer CPD points at the moment, although obviously this is part of everybody's continuing professional development. So, how can I track my progress, you may be asking? Well, there are several ways to do that. You can check off your own progress using the built-in tracker. And as far as we know, it doesn't close any part of the course off for you. So you can always dive back into previous parts of the course if you need to. And you can also see which quizzes you've taken on the dashboard. Do I get a certificate? Well, there is a certificate at the end of the course, as long as you've taken all the quizzes, or all of the quizzes which affect your business, because as you can see, the certificate includes all of the modules you've passed. It's rather nice, though I say so myself. Can you take the course if you're outside the UK? Why, certainly. That's one of the good things about having an online course. You can access it anywhere, anytime. We currently have trainees in the EU and also in the USA, along with our main trainees here in GB. And many people need to know the local requirements of CLP compared to their own version of GHS. We understand that if you are outside the UK, you may not be able to join us in the live meetings, but you can still email questions which we can discuss during those meetings, and you can always catch up later and view the videos then. So how does a trainee succeed with CLP Mastery? Well, like any training, commitment is needed. The more you put into CLP Mastery, the more you get out of it. In terms of time, we recommend you put a half day or even a whole day on site during the training phase. And that can either be during working hours if your employer agrees, and most employers do agree in our experience, or in your own time, or perhaps a combination of the two. Our most successful trainees book regular time for the course, for example, Wednesday afternoon to join the meeting and then to work on the module or modules for the week ahead. Now, you may need a quiet space both for the online meetings and to work through the course itself. Now, if you're taking a course with a colleague, you may find it helpful to work together and discuss what's happening and any problems you have. So you're getting peer learning inside CLP Mastery and then with your colleague as well. So why do people choose CLP Mastery? Well, we think it comes down to three things. First of all, because it gives you an excellent grounding in regulatory affairs product stewardship of chemicals for GHS in the EU, GB and NI. Secondly, because it's based on competence. You've got time to practice and to discuss in a safe environment, and we are all about bringing you up to our level. We're not trying to make you dependent on us for consultancy or anything like that. No, we're trying to create peers. And the third reason is you want to be able to understand what's going on inside that software black box if you're driving software, and to step in to amend it where that's required. So how much does it cost and how do I sign up? Well, the details are all on the enrolment page. Obviously, with such a comprehensive course, this is not the cheapest option, but we think it's great value for money. And we would be delighted to see you in CLP Mastery. By the way, if you've got any more questions, you can email me personally, janet@ttenvironmental.co.uk, or you can book a live online tour and invite your colleagues, and links for all of these things are below this video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.